Okay, good morning all of you. Today we are starting this class 11 from the beginning, and the first chapter that we are starting this with is the trigonometric functions, which we have already studied in class 10, and many of you seem find it to be a difficult one. So this year also it is quite difficult. I'm not scaring you, but I just wanted to say because you have to focus on this chapter very much, because not only this year but the next year also, throughout this year and the next year you will be using this chapter. So before we begin with this chapter, you can just pause the video and copying down whatever I have written it on the board. We will be starting it with the recapitulation of what we have started what we have started last year. So first thing that we have started with, trigonometry is the measure of a three-sided figure, and provided it needs to be a right angle triangle. The three-sided measure of a triangle, which is a right angle triangle. Then we have studied what is an angle. Angle is the measure of what? Of any ray. कोई भी रे है हमारे पास, कोई भी नेवर एंडिंग लाइन है, हम उसका एक एंगल फाइंड कर सकते हैं जब उस रे को हम उसकी इनिशियल पॉइंट से रोटेट करें. We'll study it again, the ray. To measure the unit, which we call unit, is degree to measure any angle. Then we move to the second part, that in order any right angle triangle can have angle on these two places. ठीक है? The side that is just adjacent, that means उसके side वाली जो side है, that needs to be the base. The opposite side needs to be the perpendicular side, and the longest side of the triangle will be the hypotenuse. In this case, it is like this. If I'm taking another triangle, it's a right angle triangle. If I'm taking an angle over here, hypotenuse remains fixed. Adjacent side, this becomes the base. Opposite side becomes the perpendicular. Then we introduce the 6 trigonometric functions. किसी भी trigonometry को हम इन 6 functions के साथ represent करते हैं. Sin theta, which is nothing but perpendicular upon hypotenuse, which cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Tan theta is sin theta by cos theta, which is nothing but perpendicular upon base. We have studied. Some people have curly black hair turned permanently black. Then cosec theta is nothing but the reciprocal of sin theta. Sec theta is nothing but the reciprocal of cos theta. And cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta. So the function over here is sine. Sine किस पे लगा? Angle पे. Theta is your angle. Then we have also studied that in angles we have the values of 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree, and you all know how to make the table for these values. Also, we have studied the complementary functions. So these were the only complementary functions that we have studied last year. So this year we will be moving to the more complementary functions apart from this. So sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta, cos of 90 minus theta is sin theta, tan so and so. Okay, this is the recapitulation. Then we studied 3 identities that you have used in order to prove the question. First is sin square theta plus cos square theta will be 1 when these theta needs to be same. So if it is sin square 250 plus cos square 250, then only I can write it to be 1. 1 plus tan square theta, if it is 1 plus tan square 3 by 5 degree, then it needs to be is equal to sec square 3 by 5. And 1 plus cos square theta is equal to cosec square theta. And next we have done the chapter that was based on application of trigonometry, where we have studied the height and distance. If I need to measure the distance of any building, if I am on the top of the building and I want to find the measure under the water, if I need to measure the shadow and all that stuff, if 2 planes are flying, then what can be the distance, and we have done many questions on that. I just want to tell you that trigonometry is not only restricted to the height and distance, it has its wide application, be it the architectures that are using it for height and distance, be it engineers, they are using the trigonometry, be it a person who is a guitarist, the strings, the vibrations that comes out to be in the seismography to measure the all the earthquakes and everything that comes. So it has a wide application in our day-to-day life, not directly but indirectly we use it in it. So this year, apart from this, we are first starting with the angle, and then we will moving to the all the other properties of trigonometry. Okay? So now, trigonometry is what? Nothing. Tri means three and metry means measure. Three side measure of a triangle. Now let me talk to an angle. Angle is what? It is a measure. Measure means किसी भी चीज को measure, उसको नापने का तरीका. It's a measure, is a measure of a given ray. Line, never ending line, about its initial point. So it's a measure of any ray. For example, if I have this ray, I can measure this ray from the initial point. If I'm rotating this ray, for example, if it is the initial point and I have rotated and come over here, then this part, this is an angle. Okay? For example, I have a ray like this and I'm moving, this is the initial part and I'm moving it to here, this is the ray, I'm moving it to down, then this angle, that part is known as the angle. Okay? So I'm repeating again, angle is nothing but a measure of a given ray about its initial point. So ये अगर मेरी रे में इसको उठा के यहाँ पर भी ले जा सकती हूँ, इसको उठा के नीचे भी ले जा सकती हूँ, इसको आधा सर्कल भी कंप्लीट कर सकती हूँ, इसको पूरा सर्कल भी कंप्लीट कर सकती हूँ. So it is an angle. If a given ray starts from an initial point and come back to its initial point, मैंने यहाँ से start करा, पूरा घुमाया, वापस यहाँ आ गई. If it comes back to its initial point, that means the initial and the terminal point coincide with each other, then we say it is a one complete revolution. Okay? Now, as in science, whenever you're measuring anything, it has a unit in order to measure anything. So here also, in order to measure an angle, there are two types of measures. First is the degree measure. Okay? This degree measure we have already studied last year. That is 20 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and so on. So what is this? If I have a circle and I divide this circle into, because one complete revolution, एक पूरा complete revolution क्या होता है? It's a 360 degree. एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक कितना है? 360 डिग्री. अगर मैंने इसको 360 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया, I've divided into 360 parts, then one part will be 1/36 of the entire circle. So degree measure is what? It's a measure of dividing any circle, because we know one complete revolution is 360 degree. If I take two parts, it will be 2/360 degree. If I take 5 parts, it will be 5/360 of the entire circle. So degree measure is nothing. I'll just write down the definition. If a rotation from the initial point side to terminal side is 1/360 of a revolution. I'll repeat, if a rotation from the initial side to terminal side is 1/360 of a revolution, the angle is said to have how much measure? The angle is said to have 1 degree. Okay? For example, if I have another circle and if I take 4 parts of the entire circle, 4 parts of the 360 degree, then we say the angle is 4 degrees. ठीक है, तो जितने parts, if I am taking from the entire revolution, if I am saying taking 36 parts, that is 36 by 360 parts, then we say that an angle has 360 degree. Okay. Now in degree also you will study that the degree can be measured in 2 ways. Okay? We know what is clockwise and anti-clockwise. If we move in the direction of the clock, we say it has a clockwise direction. Okay? If we move in the opposite direction of clock, very important, opposite direction of clock, we say it to be anti-clockwise direction. Okay? Now, when we are measuring my angle, for example, this is my circle, and from here, this is my initial side. I am moving in this. This is the anti-clockwise direction. So in trigonometry, we take the anti-clockwise direction to be a positive angle. Maybe it's taking the 10 parts of the entire circle. So we say it is 10 degree. So it will come in the, so when we are moving in anti-clockwise direction, so anti-clockwise direction is positive. For example, if the same person starts from here, take the 10th part of the entire 360 degree, but moves in the clockwise direction. उसने क्या करा? इसमें भी 10 parts of the 360 लिया, इसमें भी 10 parts of the 360 लिया, but here it is moving in anti-clockwise direction. Here it is moving in clockwise direction. So we say in clockwise direction, we take negative sign. So the sign of positive and negative tell us about which direction are we moving. So here it becomes minus 10 degree. That's the only difference. So can I repeat the one more line again? The positive sign of the degree represents the anti-clockwise direction. The negative sign of an angle represented in the clockwise direction. Clear? Now, you need to study one more thing. My hours, 1 hour is made up of how much minutes? 60 minutes. And 1 minute is made up of 60 seconds. I've written it correctly. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Now we related with the degree. So 1 degree, so degree is acting like an hour. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, and we represented by 60 and a comma. Okay? 60, this dash is the representation for the minute. And 1 minute, can I put a dash? Because this dash means 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, which is equal to 60 double dash. So if I have put a single dash, it means minute. If I put a double dash, it means seconds. Same conversion, 1 hour, 1 degree has how many minutes? 1 minute. And 1 minute has how many seconds? 60 seconds. So now you can pause the video and write down the angle. Now, in order to measure the angles, there is another method that is coming into picture, that is second, the radian measure. Okay? This is also a unit to measure an angle. Clear? But this measure says a specific thing. What does it say? An angle. An angle subtended. Subtended means bana. An angle subtended by an arc. For example, this is my initial side. This is my terminal side. अब ये जो इसके बीच में एक एंगल बना है और ये किससे बना है? दो साइड से और एक आर्क से. An angle subtended by an arc of unit circle. Unit circle means circle with radius 1 unit. The angle subtended by an arc of length 1 unit in a unit circle is said to have 1 radian. So radian is represented by small c on the top. Okay? Mandatory है that a circle needs to be a unit circle. जो भी उसकी arc length होगी, that arc length will be the measure of the angle. For example, I say a circle, a unit circle, so 1 unit of arc length 2 units. So arc length कितने हो गए इसकी? 2 units. The angle subtended by this will be 2 radian. So I need to keep in mind that the arc length and the angle will be same. For example, I'm talking in the anti-clockwise direction, it will be positive. For example, if I took a unit circle, it subtends an angle, okay? But it is in which direction? It is in the clockwise direction. It is 1 unit, and say the arc length is 1 by 2 units, which is nothing but 3 by 2. Then I'll say that the angle is 1 by 2 radian. So this needs to be kept in mind that in order to define the radian measure, it is an angle subtended by an arc of unit length in a unit circle. Then we say that the angle is 1 radian. Here if it is the arc length is 2 units, then it will be 2 radian. If the arc length, it will be minus 1 by 2 because clockwise direction it is the negative sign. So minus, let me put it over here, minus 1 by 2 radian. So the moment a minus comes, we say that it is in the clockwise direction. Okay. Now, after this, we will be studying the relationship between the arc length. So can I say that it has 3 components: arc length, the unit circle, and the angle. Okay.